In today's video, we are casting on in the round on the All-in-One Loom. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. The all-in-one is great because we can work it in the round, such as a hat like this or a cowl, but you can also work it flat panel or take these sliders out on either end and push it together for double knitting. So today we want to work in the round continuously, just as this one is doing here. And I want to point out something special that I'm doing. So you can see that I have removed the sliders from the bolts on the ends on this end here and marked my first peg, as well as down here. And then I just loosen it and then slide it into the position and count how many stitches I need and then tighten it up. Okay, so now you would normally assume to do that on one end, but maybe this end you normally would keep this slider around this bolt because that's the way it comes. But if you will go ahead and take it off before you start, you can do something like a decreased crown, such as on here, to where you have a nice smooth look and you have more flexibility to be able to actually move these sliders around while you're working on your project. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and adjust your loom, pause your video as you need, and then count out how many stitches that you need. I usually suggest that you do a multiple of 2 or 4 or even a multiple of 8, which divides really well when you want to do a decreased crown. So go ahead and get it adjusted to the right amount of stitches, pause your video and come back, and we will start doing a cast on. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a chain cast on. You need a crochet hook, or you can use your fingers, and then you're going to need your yarn of choice. Now, if you would like a different type of cast on video, I have some down in the links below to all of the overview of my cast ons, and you can pick the one that works best for the pattern you're choosing. I'm choosing this one because it has a nice clean edge. This is a chained edge. You can see how it has these lovely V-shaped designed stitches that go around, so it mimics the knit stitch from the side, which is actually just a nice little chain like a crochet. So we're going to do that. We're going to place a slip knot however you like it. I just wrap it around twice from my finger, lift the back loop over the front slightly, and then do it one more time up and over the tip of my finger. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a crochet hook and place it on my hook. And now I'm going to put the hook at the back and between my first and second peg. Now I'm working in this direction here. I'll flip the video to do right or left-handed. On my video, I'm working to the left, and that is the way my pattern is going to go, so I'm just choosing that direction today. You can do it in either direction. All right, so I'm going to wrap the yarn around my first peg with this working yarn. All right. And then I'm going to put my crochet hook in between here. Just pick a hook that will go in between the pegs, and then we're just going to wrap around the working yarn and pull through the loop on the hook. Now this first one is a little bit harder to do. I'll just use my fingers here. Okay, so I pulled it off. It's a little bit fussy here, so I'm just going to place it right back on. You can see I'm just being nice and loose with it, and now I can pull a little tighter. So what that does behind here is it creates a little bitty chain. It's harder to see now with these smaller stitches, but it's there. And now I've got a loop on the back. When I go to the next stitch here, the next peg, I'm just going to put my hook here, and then I'm going to yarn over, so wrapping it with that working yarn, pull through the loop right here, and that creates a chain on the back again. And now I'll go on to the next one. You can see that that next one is going to create a chain. So the inside is going to have 2 stitches or 2 loops, and then the outside has 1. Okay, so I'm just going to yarn over and keep pulling through like that. And again, you can use your fingers. Some people take this loop from the back and pull it through the front and then kind of mess with it up front. There are other videos around to see that, and this is just the way I'm teaching it today. So go ahead and keep doing that. When you get to the end of this straightaway here, this slider, you can turn it and then go between the next peg, and you're going to go around this this first peg on the other side here, the one that lines up. Make sure that your slider is lined up with these pegs here. And then just keep going along the side. Pause your video and continue working on all your stitches and go all the way around until you get to this very beginning. I'm going to show you a nice little trick to join. All right, see you soon. All right, so I am at the end and I have this last peg done. The first peg, of course, has that one loop on it, and then it has a chain going from the first peg to the second peg, but I have this one last loop, and I can place this one last loop on this first peg and be done with it, yes, and I've told that in the past, but there's actually a different way, and I really like this next way. If you go ahead and just cast on one more and go back on that number 1 peg, and then come through again, you're going to get a nice chain going from the last peg to the first peg, and then just place this very last loop on the second peg. So your first and second peg will have 2 loops on it, and so you can go ahead and lift up and over on this first one like that, and then go ahead and start working your pattern. And when you start working this next stitch here, go ahead and treat these 2 stitches as one. So if you were to knit this first stitch, you go ahead and the yarn is coming out. It looks like it's actually coming out from between these 2, but go ahead and knit this first stitch or purl, whatever your pattern says. Go ahead and do that, and then when you work your number 2 peg, then you will just knit both of those 2 over or purl those 2 together. All right, so that's how you cast on in the round. Just continue working on your next project, or you can click down on the link below for the next video coming, and we'll talk about the boyfriend hat. See you soon. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.